Peace be with you. I'm Pastor Stephen Gjerde, and this is Picture Time, artwork for Sunday school and for everyone, in which we look at a beautiful work of art, at least hopefully we will think it's beautiful, that focuses on the lesson that the Sunday school children have been learning this past week at Sunday school. And so this past Sunday, we were looking at Noah's Ark, the great story of the flood that God sent to wash away all the wicked and to save Noah and his family, 8 people in all, as well as pairs of all of the animals and many more animals besides. So for this week, the picture I'm going to share with you comes from about 350 years ago from an island called Crete. Crete is an island that is not too far from Egypt. So if you've heard of Egypt or Italy or Greece, the island of Crete is not too far from those places. And there was an artist who lived in that island called Theodore Poulakis. About 350 years ago, he died in 1692, and he painted this picture of Noah's Ark. And I'm going to hold it up for you to look at and kind of hold it close and give you a chance to look at everything, and then I'll talk more about it. So here is the painting itself, or the picture, and it was a painting. And if you look up close, you'll see there is Noah's Ark right there. And there's the animals going into Noah's Ark. Look at all those animals he took the time to paint. I see horses there, and I think I see some sheep maybe, and lions, and maybe other kinds of big cats. I see a turkey. Do you see the turkey? The turkey is right there. Do you see the elephants, cattle? All kinds of animals there. I think it's also interesting that in this painting of the ark, Noah has prepared a place for the birds to go in. And so Poulakis, the artist, has a picture here with all the birds flying into the ark. That's kind of interesting to think about, isn't it? Because when you think about it, the birds probably wouldn't have had a place to land during the flood. And so they needed a place to be too, and why not the ark? Now, if I move the painting over here, there you go, hello, you can see me a little bit. If I move the painting over there, you can see a picture of the town that Moses comes from. It looks like a castle. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. You also see that God is right up there. See, that's God coming through the clouds. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. And if I pull the picture farther away and then back up close, you'll see Moses and his wife right there. Moses is in a pink shirt. The wife is in green. And then behind him is one of his sons and his wife, and then another son and his wife, and another wife of another son, all going down to the ark. Again, this is a picture painted by a man named Theodore Poulakis. It probably would have hung in a church. And here's a few things to think about as you look at that picture. First, notice that God is right in the center. Sometimes when we look at pictures of Noah and the ark, we don't always see God in those pictures. But here we have an image of God. He's portrayed as an old man there with some angels around him. I'll put a little bit closer. You can see the heads of the angels there around him. And that reminds us that the flood wasn't just a great natural disaster that God saved Noah from. The flood was something that God sent. God sent the flood because God was angry at the way the world had turned, that the world had become so wicked. And so the flood came because God sent it, but also Noah built the ark because God told him how. And Noah put all those animals on the ark because God told him how. So all of this is happening under the care and the direction of God. Now, I saw one person talk about this painting online on the internet, and this person was complaining how ridiculous it was that Noah and his wife were painted in the dress of the time when Poulakis lived, sort of in a kind of dress from the 1600s, and that they were outside a city that looked like it came from the 16 or 1500s, a castle. And this person was complaining there were no castles at the time of Noah. Noah and his wife wouldn't have dressed like that. Well, that's true, but you know, by painting it in this way, what Poulakis does is he invites us to think about what would happen if this flood came in our time. See, by painting it in a way that would have looked familiar to the people of his time, Poulakes is saying to the people, imagine this happening to you. And so if we were to paint this today, maybe we would paint it and show a city, or maybe we would show Wausau or Weston or Merrill or Rothschild, Schofield, one of those places painted in the background. And maybe here we'd have Moses in a Green Bay Packers shirt, and we would have Mrs. Moses in a Brewers t-shirt or something, right? Or in a DC Everest or Wausau West or Wausau East t-shirt, to sort of help us think about this happening in our time and place, so that we can appreciate that God is the God who greets us in our time and place, and that these things happened in history in order for God to show his almighty power. So there, I'm going to let you just look at the picture one more time. That is the picture for this week. A good reminder to us that God is the God who acts in our time and place. God has reached you through the church, through your parents or grandparents, through the Bible, to say, I know you by name. I love you by name. I have done something to save you from wickedness, to save you from your sin and what you do wrong. I sent my son, Jesus Christ, to bring you into the ark of the church. The church is like the ark. If I were to hold this back up again for you, you see that ark there, that big, big boat, that's like the church for us. All of us get inside the church because that's where Jesus puts us to keep us safe. That is, he puts us not in a particular building or on a boat, but he puts us in the care of his word. He puts us with baptism, with Holy Communion, with the Bible. He puts us with the preaching of the church and the prayer of his church to keep us in his care and to shield us by creating faith in us so that we may believe and trust in him and trust that he has forgiven our sins and that he won't let us die. He will not flood us with his anger, but he will keep us safe with him forever. That's very good news. That's the artwork for this week, and may God's peace be with you.